Hi everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So I'm going to show you how to use my 5x7 pop-up bouquet mechanism. So this is a kind of card that you can create. These are all my new papers and I'll link everything below. But this one here, you have this very cute little pop-up basket. This piece comes down and it will reveal, I'll just move those out the way, this very sweet little pop-up bouquet. And you can just display the belly band in front. You've also got these versions here. So we've got the daisies here. This is one of my favorite ones. Really love that one, for my friend. And then we've got this one here, which is using the mason jar, which is one of the other panels that you can have on the front. Birthday wishes just for you. I hope your day is beautiful too. And then we have another one here with the mason jar, just different colouring there, and I've used the polka dot papers. I wanted to show a Christmas version, so this is using Christmas papers from 2 collections ago. It was my Christmas collection with the puppets, and I used the sentiment there as well, Merry Christmas, in the middle of that mason jar, and it says there, my dear friend. And then this one here, using the mirrored card, Let Friendship Bloom, and that's the stripes from the paper pad. And then the one that I'm going to show you today is this very bright one of my favourites. I love these flowers, and this is using the basket. Got that lovely ribbon bow there, and you can see all of that dimension, all the detail with the stenciling there on the basket, and then that lovely sentiment. And again, that one stands up all by itself. These ones are really easy to make, so let me show you how. So this is the 5x7 pop-up bouquet die set, and I'm going to use that with the basket here. So these ones will go with this set. And then I'm going to use these flowers here. So I've already stamped the 3 styles, and I've stamped the leaves as well. Yeah, this one here. And then you've got your dies all to match there, and I'll show you a little tip on how to cut your dies. And then the sentiments. So for this one, I'm using From One Who Knows That Friends Like You Are Very Beautiful and Very Few. And then I've used this frame. And I think that's it for the sentiments. Yeah. So you've also got this one here as well. I'm going to use the verses there. I might stamp one for the back actually, we'll see. So first of all, you want your main die set. So I'll take these 2 here, and I've already gone ahead. So this is going to go into a 5x7 gatefold style. So I've already made that. And you want to cut the largest die. So this one here. So I've just ran that one through. And then this one you want to run through 3 times. Okay. You also want to die cut this one here, which is your strips. You can run it through, as many times as you want, depending on how many flowers. You might have it very full, but you'll see there I've got all the strips which I've already cut. So just get all of that ready. So once it's cut, you'll have all these score lines, and you'll have these 3 cut lines. What I also like to do is just go over those score lines. It just makes it a bit easier to fold. I'm using a heavyweight cardstock. It's what I always use. It's always between 250 and a 300 GSM. But I'm just going back over those ones just so it's a bit easier to see and to fold. And then you can also join the ones here in between. Just find a track that they line up with. Especially if it's a more heavyweight cardstock, just makes it a bit easier. Then another little tip is grab a ruler, flip it over, and you're just going to fold these pieces back. I mean, you can do it without the ruler, but I'm just trying to always find ways to make this as easy as possible. But just bring it up and push it against the metal ruler there. It's got quite a thin little piece in between here. Once we add these pieces, it does all, strengthen and stuff. But just to get these kind of folded, just use a ruler. It just gives you something to push against. But you should now have those 3 folded down, and then all the other score lines should be mounting folds, so they're all the same basically, just those pieces are actually inside because they've got the little cut around them. Okay, so you'll see we've got the tabs either side there. That's what's going to attach to your card, and then this is where you're going to add your flowers. So with these 3 pieces here, you can just fold those again, pop the score lines in if you want. You can see here it does still fold without, but it it might help others more, so like so. And then with this one here, you want to make sure that you have this end facing you and these 2 larger sections away. And then with these panels, make sure that this fold is facing you, and you're going to add your glue onto the back of this piece here, this flap. Pop this down, it will be the same width as the other piece, so just make sure it lines up, and then just fold that over, making sure that that fold end is facing you. Okay, and then again the next one, pop your glue, and then grab the next one, butt it up to the score line, and then fold that over. And then just repeat that for the last one. And then just burnish those all well again, just so they're nice and secure. So now you should have these 3 pieces hanging from those tabs. Fold them down like this. So this piece is on top, they're all facing you. Again, you've got the largest part away from you there. And just add glue to the top of the tabs. Try not to get the glue going past those sections because you don't want anything else sticking that shouldn't. It's just on the 3 tabs there, and then you just want to fold that whole piece over and just line that all up. Make sure it's all perfectly lined up, it's all nice and flush down the sides, that way you know everything's going to be hidden. And once that's all secure, you'll now be able to open that up, and you'll have these 3 equally spaced panels, and you've got your 2 tabs there again for you to be able to attach that to your card blank. So we'll actually do that now next. I'm going to keep this one all plain. If you want to add mats and layers here, then you can. I'll show that in future videos, but for this one I just want to have it all yellow, and then these really bright flowers are going to be everywhere. And I've got ribbon here to tie around the mason jar. So I'm going to add my glue now to the back of these 2 tabs, like so. And then you want to focus on this being in the middle of this section here. So this is a piece of 10 by 7. Along the 10-inch side I've scored at 2.5 and 7.5. And now I can just line up the bottom with the bottom of the card. And I'm just pushing them down with my fingers either side, and then push the whole thing flat. That other tab with the glue on will be now sticking in place. You'll be able to feel it. But just make sure it's straight, and just make sure you've got an equal amount either side here. And now you'll be able to bring that up, and it's all in place. But now that's going to fold up nicely, and that will all close for your gatefold style. Now I'm going to go on to the jar. So I'd already die cut it in white, and then what I'm going to do is use this as a stencil, which is what it's designed for. So I'm going to pop that back into place. I think I've got enough grey ink still on my blending brush here, because I don't want it to be too strong, but I thought it'd be quite nice to do like a grey basket. So I'm just going over the whole thing. This will just rinse under the, you know, with a bit of warm water. Now when you take that away, you've got that really lovely basket design there. And then if you want to add a bit more, you know, definition, and just go around, distress the edges there as well. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then these 2 little pieces that I've cut out, that's for you to thread your ribbon through. So I've got this turquoise colour here, and I was going to do a bow, but now I'm thinking about having just a decorative trim, because this is going to be stuck on the front. I think a bow would look nice actually. No, we'll do a bow. So we go through, actually no, we'll go through this end here, just go in from the back there. Try and only use what I need. Make sure the ribbon's flat on the back. Do a bit more there. This is quite a thick ribbon that I'm using, but I just love the colour, and it worked really well with the flowers that I'd already coloured in. So now just that will do, and then just tidy up the ends there. And I'm just going to use some foam pads here just to give it a little bit of dimension, because we've got the dimension from that bow, so I can now pop that one just below. That's about right. That will do, like so. And then this is going to stick onto the front here. Now I like to stick this on before I add the flowers, because I just find it's easier to then build the flowers up around this, because they all come up slightly higher to obviously completely conceal the pop-up box. So you want to make sure the bottom is nice and flush here, and then you've got an equal amount overhanging, and that will now conceal your box. And those little cutout pieces will just line up as well with the side. So whilst that's drying, I'm now going to stick all these pieces down. So I like to add them all onto the strips first. It's just, I find it easier because then you've got them ready to pick up and kind of, you know, if you want to change things or just try a few different colours or designs, then you've got them there. So I'm just sticking them onto the ends. If you're going to make a belly band, which will feature in some other tutorials, and I'll link those once they're up, then you can save a few of your flowers. But I'm just going to have kind of 3 in each size initially, and then I can add in any extras. That's those all in place. Now you always want to start with the back section first and your largest flower. Kind of get that in place, and then everything else will go from there. So I'm popping a bit of glue on the end there. And what I want to do is lay the flower in as high up as it will go, and it's just in the top there. But get that flower down and then close that down on top. Now when you bring that up, that's as high as you can now have everything else. So use that as your guide. That way you know everything is going to be concealed. Also with these, you've got little score lines on the side. That's designed so they can fold in, and you can close the card up there. And this will go into one of my box envelopes or bouncy envelopes. And then when you open it, you know, you can just move those. But now that flower's in place. Now I can start placing everything else down. So again, with the back ones, I just like to sit it down and then close that down, and that means it will grab onto that back piece. Okay, it's all really neat. You can't see any of it from this side because it's behind it. And then this one here, each time I'm just putting the glue on the front. As you can see already, we've got that nice display at the back. And now with all of these ones, I can just get my finger in the sides and just kind of hold them in place and move them around to where I want them. But if you struggle, maybe that's still a bit fiddly, put the glue on the ends like I've been doing, and just kind of hover it where you want it and then close that down again. So, you know, it's really easy to get these all in place. But I'm now going to pop it on high speed and get the rest of these. Everything now stuck down. I've also added in these little sprigs here, which are from the die set. I think it looks so pretty. You could add little gemstones, you know, flat back pearls into the centre of the flowers, add some sparkle. Now, if you do want to mat and layer the sides, I am going to be sharing more tutorials with this. But because these are 2.5, I would do a 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. And if you want to layer on top of that, I'd then do 2 by 6 1/2. And do that on here and also on the fronts there as well, so that's all decorated. And then for the back, I would cut a piece of 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then you can stamp and write your message. But you'll see now that all folds down, all folds in to your gatefold there, and that will fit into one of my box envelopes or one of my bouncy envelopes. I've also got this example here to show you. So this is on a side fold card, and I've just stamped For My Friend, which is one of the stamp sets. I've got a different sentiment and frame on the front of this one, but it's just another way to show you how that basket works in a craft card. And I've just inked that lovely detail there. And then these are actually all die cut, so it's using the gerbera or the daisy. And I just die cut it all in white and then just inked the centres in like yellow and brown tones. One of the leaf dies there, and you've got that style. But again, really pretty. And it says, I thought of you today, so I'm sending a beautiful floral hug. And you can see that one stands really nicely as well. And you can just decorate the front again. Keep the fronts of your cards quite simple. So maybe just add a few of the flowers there and some nice pattern paper, because these are all intended to be displayed open. So that's another example, and there will be more photos that you'll find over on my social channels, and there'll be more tutorials as well coming your way using the mason jar from this set. I think I'm doing a festive version for that one actually. So as always, thank you for watching. Check the description box for the links to the product that I've used today, and check out the channel for future videos as well. So make sure you're subscribed and then you won't miss out. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.